What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/TalesFromTheCustomer. Alright, this story's called entitled St. Patrick's Day Diners. Nothing too explosive, but left me shaking my head at how insane and entitled some people can be. St. Patrick's Day 2004. I was a captain in the US Army, stationed stateside, and the commander of a recruiting company somewhere on the East Coast. Like many military officers around that time, I was a bit overworked and stressed, and I typically left my office late. This particular weeknight, it was around 1930 hours, 7:30 p.m. for you civilians, and my fiancée lived a 2-hour drive away, so I wouldn't be spending time with her. On my way home, in the town just outside the installation, was a really great Irish pub. They served amazing burgers and steak fries there, and I decided to stop and treat myself. Naturally, I'm still in uniform, and it just happened to be St. Patrick's Day. Now, I lived another 10 miles away as the car drives, and across the river, so I knew few people in that little town. Also, I had a book with me, and I was looking forward to spending my time reading with a soda and an Irish beer waiting for, and then enjoying, my food. I'm an introvert, which does not mean I'm antisocial. It means that I recharge my batteries with solitude. So after a day of dealing with everyone from my equally beleaguered battalion commander to herds of arrogant high school kids who love to pelt me and my soldiers with the F word and describe how they're so much better than the US Army could ever deserve, and how they're going to medical school with their 2.1 GPA. I was ready for some quiet time with my book. It's St. Patrick's Day, so the place is full. I wait perhaps 15 minutes and am then seated in a booth big enough for 4. I would rather have had a high top at the bar area, but they're all full, and what the hell, the hostess placed me there. It's not too far from the front door. The bar area is rather full, and so people are beginning to find places to stand and wait. I'm eating my food and reading when I become aware of people standing next to my table, uncomfortably close. It's a group of 2 ladies and a man looking down at me.
Hi, young man. Would you mind if we shared your table?
Not really comprehending. Excuse me?
Can we share your table with you? Would you mind?
These people were not particularly large, i.e. fat, but they weren't skinny either. They were anywhere from late 50s to early 70s and were complete strangers to me. My peaceful, quiet time was in danger of being overthrown by 3 strangers taking over my table and boxing me into a smaller space than I was comfortable with at the moment. I really just wanted to sit in peace and read my book and finish my meal. So, I swallow my food. Yes.
So we can join you?
No, I meant that I do mind. Several seconds of uncomfortable silence follow.
Well, the restaurant is so crowded tonight. It's St. Patrick's Day, you know, and we just thought you might enjoy some company and that we would share your table with you.
No, I'm really happy by myself at the moment, reading my book. Thanks for the offer. The 3 human beings blink it.
So, you would mind if we joined you?
Yes, I would mind. Thanks.
Oh,
Blink, blink.
we just thought, since the restaurant is so crowded.
It's only about a 20-minute wait. Have a good evening. I go back to my book. A server happens by and gets button-hooked by my new companions.
Excuse me, how long will the wait be? I think about 20-30 minutes. We thought we could sit with this gentleman maybe, but when we asked him if it would be okay, he said no.
The server looks at me. My new companions look at the server. I look at the server. I shrug. Server to me.
Sir, you're good right now?
Until that point, I had been centered in the seat on my side of the booth. I then slid a bit to my left and lifted one highly polished shoe onto the seat opposite, sending what I hoped was an unmistakable message. Perfectly happy right now. Thanks.
Well, we just thought we might join them here.
Folks, we'll get you a table just as soon as one opens up. Just be patient. Well, if we do have to wait.
But the server has already walked away, and I've already dived back into my food and my book. My new companions spent the next 20 minutes standing next to my table. They made some light small talk amongst themselves, but I couldn't help but notice every 20 seconds or so, they would look down at me, as if to make sure I hadn't suddenly apparently disapparated to Hogwarts or something. I caught them doing this several times. They would then smile at me and occasionally ask some stupid questions.
So you're in the army?
Yes, ma'am. I took to refusing to look anywhere near them. Eventually, they were seated at a table some distance away to my left. I caught them looking over at me every now and then. My impression was that they were talking about me and checking to see if I could hear them. Due to the noise level in the place, I couldn't. Just as I've about finished, the hostess comes to stand by my table.
Excuse me, sir?
Yes?
Did those people
She points to my former new companions.
ask to share a table with you?
Yes? Am I in trouble or something?
No! Oh god, no, it's just my server told me what happened, that they spoke to her about it. Those people are regulars and they've done this before on St. Patrick's Day. I just wanted to check with you before I have words with them again about not doing this sort of thing.
So I paid my bill and left, not looking at my former new companions as I went. We introverts have a saying. There is a very hot place in hell reserved for those who see you minding your own business, eating and reading, and decide that they simply must rescue from it with their presence and scintillating conversation. A very, very, very hot place. That's a very, very, very long saying. And that sounds terrible. I feel horrible for OP because that just, I would probably, what would I do in that situation? What I would do is tell them that they can't sit there, then disappear to the restroom for like 15 minutes, then come back. And they're gonna be like, wow, that was a long bathroom trip. And I'll be like, yes. But what you were actually doing, instead of going to the bathroom, was going to the kitchen, getting some cleaning chemicals, and then spiking their drinks with various products. Nothing deadly, nothing lethal, all right? Just enough to cause severe discomfort. And so then they get their drinks, everyone's happy. I mean, except for them. Alright, this story's called Phone Provider Scammed Me for Extra $30 Every Month for 3 months. This happened last year. I currently use an okay phone plan, but I probably should have gone with another provider because I live out in the country and need better coverage. I like the phone I have though. I got it on a payment plan to pay it off for, I think, roughly 2 years. I can't remember. But my provider actually screwed me over on the payment plan for it. They had set a number of months to pay the phone off. I thought those months would pay it off exactly in time. Turns out they never planned for that. Looking back, I wondered why they offered me such a low monthly rate. Then when I exceeded those months, they stopped the payment plan completely and started overcharging me monthly. I was paying over $90 and didn't notice for a few months because it was on autopay. They didn't bother to contact me that the payment plan was over, yet they didn't mind sending me advertisements as often as they could. Got woken up by an advertisement text more than a few times in the early morning because of them. When I went to the phone store and confronted them, they said it was a monthly fee to lease the phone since it wasn't paid off, so I technically didn't own it yet. I was mad they didn't contact me, but what was done was done. So I just said I wanted to pay off the last $200 on the phone, but my bank account was getting low at that time. So I went home and got cash that I'd saved on the side to pay the last of it off. But when I came back, they told me that they didn't accept cash for paying off phones, only credits or debit. Yet for some reason, they accepted cash for monthly bill payments. What the fuck? So I had to deposit the cash at my bank so I could pay off the phone with debit. And when I went to pay, the phone provider's computer system suddenly went down and they couldn't take any kind of payment for the rest of the day. You can't make this crap up. I had to wait till Monday to come back and finally got the phone paid off and my bill went down to about $60 a month. Edits. I've been getting repeated comments about why I didn't just pay online. I'm not really one to do that for various reasons. Mainly, I really don't trust it. A close friend of mine had his card information stolen from paying a bill online. He got lucky and caught it quick, but had to get a new credit and debit cards for everything. Additionally, my identity information was literally stolen right from my health insurance company over a year ago. Some thieves broke in and stole several computers, one of which contained my personal information. So to say I'm afraid of paying bills online is a slight understatement.
Wow.
Well, I mean, it's not likely to happen to you twice, but I guess better safe than sorry. But geez, that sounds annoying. I would never freaking go. I would never be able to, go to the store and make them fix it. I just deal with it because I just hate dealing with customer service people. It's horrible. Alright, this story's called DMV Scammed My Sister with Extra Fines for a Year. I don't know how believable this will sound to some, but it did happen. About a decade ago, my sister ended up with some sort of violation. I don't remember what, that required her to pay a $75 fine at the DMV, or else have her license suspended. Well, she paid the fine and all was seemingly good. But then, 3 months later, she received a notice from the DMV that the fine needed to be paid. So my sister went into the DMV to inquire about this since she'd already paid the fine. Well, both bank and DMV records proved she'd already paid the fine. Yet, the system was demanding she pay the fine again or else get her license suspended. My sister tried to fight it, but wound up paying the $75 fine again because she needed to be able to drive. Fast forward another 3 months and the same thing happened again. My sister went in with proof she'd already paid the fine twice. This made the DMV take a closer look at their systems. Turns out, there was a glitch that was somehow renewing the fine every 3 months. And if she didn't pay it, then the DMV system would automatically suspend her license. My sister was furious and called absolute beaver sausage on this. But the DMV employees were both sympathetic to her problem and adamant that she pay the fine again or else get her license revoked. When she demanded they fix the glitch in the system, they just shrug and tell her they didn't know how. The most my sister could do was make them file a report about it to the higher offices, but she was still forced to pay the fine a third time or else face license suspension. And then, of course, another 3 months later, the glitch renewed the fine, and the DMV demanded payment. And of course, the same things happened again. She'd already paid the fine multiple times and had proof. The DMV didn't know how to fix it, can't drive unless she pays the fine again, etc. Finally, sometime after the 4th fine, the DMV did a reformat of their servers and the glitch was removed from the system for good. My sister wanted the extra $225 she was forced to pay back, but the DMV couldn't or wouldn't do anything about it. So she just let it go and moved on with her life because it just wasn't worth taking legal action over it. Thankfully, it never happened again at least. And yes, my sister did want to take it higher, but was told the only way she could was by getting a lawyer, and that would have required going to court. The cost of court fees and a lawyer would have been several times the amount she was owed. So she just considered it a wash and forgot about it because otherwise she'd have just looked like an angry Karen yelling at a hapless clerk. Okay, somebody call Ron Swanson, okay? No one, especially him, should be okay with the fact that the government robbed her of money. Alright, that is extortion. Alright, this story's called Beware Letting Your Children Get the Food, apparently. Decided to order lunch from the alliterative food delivery service today. Got some tacos from the chain up the street. Alliterative. Is it DoorDash? Because DoorDash, that's alliteration. Anyway, we do contactless delivery. Have ever since it became available. Usually there's no trouble. Today, trouble. A little bit after we were done eating, there was a knock on the door. I opened it up to find a couple of local police officers standing outside. One of them asked if we'd just had a food delivery. I said yes, as we had, and he asked if I'd had a kid pay for the food. I told him no, we'd paid through the app. My kid had just brought the food inside. That was when he told me that the delivery person had called the police and reported that my kids were home alone. Obviously, that's not the case. Not only am I here, but so is my husband, and one of the kids, not the one who brought in the food, is 17. I'm not sure how you can make the jump from kid takes food in the house to I better call the cops because a 10-year-old is all alone. I don't like phone calls and avoid customer service whenever possible. Hey, what's up? But I actually called and complained about that one. Wow, look at us. Kindred spirits. I appreciate it. Alright, this story's called 24-Hour Delivery Taking 200 Hours and Counting, No Refund. When it rains, it pours. Here I am back with a second crazy customer service experience in the space of a single week. About 2 weeks ago, someone tried to jimmy my neighbor's back door and the rear wooden door to my garage. They didn't get into either, but I thought it best to beef up my garage security. I replaced the door and frame, put on a new hasp latch, and ordered a steel barricade for the interior. Badass. I bought the barricade last Friday, 1 week ago today, before 9 a.m. from a small blacksmithing company which operates an eBay shop. Measured everything up, put in my order, and decided on postage. The two options were free postage with arrival in 5 working days, or 18 pounds for a 24-hour courier. I thought it best to just shell out for the courier since I was eager to make my garage as secure as possible as quickly as possible. I expected the barricade to arrive on Monday. Nothing. Thought, okay, wait one more day. Nothing. Emailed him on Wednesday. No response. Emailed again yesterday. No response. Today I found the number of his workshop and gave him a call. Asked about the barricade, and he took down my order number. Here was the interaction.
Gonna be honest, mate, I completely forgot to send your order out, but I did send it first thing this morning when I remembered.
Right, that's good news, but I want a refund for the postage. I paid 18 pounds for a 24-hour service, and that's you just sending it off a week later.
Yeah, but I sent it via 24-hour courier today.
Great, but I paid for 24 hours a week ago. It's been 200 hours.
It's not my fault I forgot.
That's a textbook case of something being your fault. Am I getting my refund, or do I have to open a PayPal case?
Do what you like.
And he hung up. After I finish typing this out, I'm gonna open a case, obviously. The mind boggles. Okay, here's something you have to understand. When you pay for shipping, you're usually paying for the, like it says 2-day shipping or 1-day shipping or something. You're paying for the speed at which it ships, but that depends on them getting it to the post office or whatever, actually getting to the shipping company. So, for instance, you could pay for 1-day shipping from an Etsy store, but like, what if they have to make it? All right, you're paying for the 1-day shipping, but they still have to make it then ship it out. So, I'm not sure who's in, obviously the company should refund him the money because, his excuse was stupid and he was taking forever for no reason, but I'm just, making sure that's clear.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.